Good morning. I was asked to give a couple of words right before I prayed, and I want you to know it's my honor to offer these prayers on behalf of Dr. Ramsemi and the Hudson Valley Community College family. I want to offer congratulations to not only him, but also the board of directors, the staff, and the students. When Dr. Ramsemi arrived, he and we got together and we talked about ways in which we could collaborate to make even Hudson Valley stronger. And one of his goals was to break down the invisible walls that's around the Hudson Valley Community College and oftentimes the rest of the region. His desire was to expand this place past the borders of Rensselaer County and into other regions. And I must say that I was quite amazed to hear how he collaborated, or he fostered a collaboration between Northern Rivers Family Services, where they developed an Earn Where You Learn program. And what happens is they now have a program where they are paying the workers there to actually earn college credits. And it's an amazing program. And then further, this past week, the Pathways Project between the University of Albany, Dr. Javidan Rodriguez and Dr. Ramsemi, that's a powerful thing in our region where our students now have a pathway to a 4-year college. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a brief snippet of the things that he's accomplished in such a short amount of time. And as we all know, with any transition, there is going to be challenges. There's going to be oftentimes resistance. And one of the things that I know, in order for things to move forward, we need a visionary, and we also need people that are going to help him fulfill the vision. And I believe that God has given Hudson Valley Community College both. He's given a visionary that has traveled thousands of miles to come to this place. As the word of the Lord says, that God knows the appointed time for people to be born in the exact place for them to live. And I believe that God has chosen this moment for Dr. Ramsemi and his great family to live in the Albany, New York area, so that we can come up and we can even be not only a regional college making an impact, but a college that's going to make a greater impact nationally and around the world. And so my prayer today, as I offer this on behalf of the school and Dr. Ramsemi, is that he would have continued favor, that he would have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and discretion as he applies his duties, that the board here at Hudson Valley Community College will perform their fiduciary duties with great respect, integrity, wisdom, and honor. Also that the staff here would grab hold of the great vision that this man has, and as he leads you forward, that the staff would have a greater passion for teaching and a greater passion for the students, and that the students that you have will excel. Will you bow your heads with me? Father, in the name of the Lord, we thank you for this time together. We ask that you would continue to direct the steps of this great man. We thank you for bringing him here, O Lord, and as we settle these things in our hearts, we're asking that your will, plan, and purpose would be done in his life, in his family's life, in the board, in the staff, and in the students here at Hudson Valley. And we declare that the whole region here in Albany, New York, will be better because you have placed him here for such a time as this. Father, we ask that you would protect him. We ask, oh God, that you would bless him, and we ask that your will would be done. Now, Lord, we ask that you also grace the rest of this ceremony so that you would get glory, honor, power, and praise, and that Dr. Ramsemi would know that he has a constituency here that support him, love him, and embraces the vision that he has. We ask these things in your great name, and we thank you for it. Amen and amen. God bless you all.
You may be seated. Welcome and good morning. I'm Lucille Marion, Vice President of Hudson Valley Community College and Executive Director of the Capital District Educational Opportunity Center, and it is my distinct honor to serve as Mistress of Ceremonies for today's events. We are honored to host this distinguished platform party whose members have come together today to bring greetings and remarks in honor of this occasion that celebrates the future of Hudson Valley Community College under the leadership of this new president. I offer the warmest of welcomes to all of our distinguished guests, both those on this platform with me and those seated in our audience today. Bringing greetings on behalf of the Hudson Valley Community College Board of Trustees, please welcome Chairman Neil Kelleher.
Thank you, Lucy. The football team's here. They got all their gear on. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. And thank you, Pastor, for that great invocation. And thank you, Lucy. Dr. Marion, excuse me. You know, I'm going to hazard a guess that one of the first people I met here at Hudson Valley when I first joined, the staff in 1987 was Lucy, which means we've only been working together for about 30 plus years or so. Working together is probably pushing it a little bit. For the first decade or so, I probably spent more time hiding from her and her boss, Dr. Boomer, than I did working with her or anybody else. But that's a story for another day, I guess. Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for joining us here this morning. Special greetings to the extended Ramsamy family, who traveled quite a distance to join us for this very special occasion. I've met a few of them before. I had the honor to travel to Trinidad with President Ramsamy this past winter when we were working with some of the folks from the education department down there, putting some programs together and looking at some possibilities. And it is great to see you folks again, and I wish you safe travel. As always, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here and represent my fellow trustees and bring greetings indeed on their behalf. Along with the always amazing assistance of Teresa Farrell and Dennis Kennedy's office, I had a page of wonderful things to share about Dr. Ramsamy regarding what he's managed to accomplish already, his foresight, plans for the future, and simply stated just how impressed we all are with our new president. But with an eye towards brevity, let me just say that if I'm on this board for another 20 years and oversee the construction of 10 new buildings and watch our enrollment double, I'll still, when looking back on my tenure here at Hudson Valley, consider my one biggest single achievement that of chairing the search committee that resulted in the hiring of Dr. Roger Ramsamy. Doc, awesome. Now, of course, even Batman doesn't operate alone, and I want to take this opportunity to extend the board's heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the wonderful senior leadership team Roger's put together, our amazingly talented faculty, my former colleagues on our hardworking staff, our community partners, foundation members, donors, all those who have chosen to help us in our mission to provide the very best education possible to those who make this wonderful campus what it is. That's our students. On a personal note, I'd also like to thank my fellow trustees who do all the behind-the-scenes heavy lifting required, usually with little or no recognition, that keeps this awesome institution moving forward. It is in great part their efforts to keep Hudson Valley in the ranks of the finest community colleges, not just in New York State, but indeed the entire country. To all those I've mentioned and any I may have missed, thank you again for your dedication and your commitment to HVCC and, more importantly, to our students. And of course, just one more time, Dr. Ramsamy, Roger, congratulations. Thank you. Thanks for being my friend. And please know your entire Board of Trustees looks forward to working alongside you as you lead this college we all love into a bright new future. You know, some have probably heard that although retired, I did come back and take a little part-time job with Rensselaer County, thanks to Steve McLaughlin and some other folks, and that's I get to work with people struggling with the illness of substance use disorder and fighting this opiate epidemic, which has scourged our whole country so terribly. So before I close, I would ask that if you know anybody who's suffering, perhaps, or you yourself, or anyone close to you, a loved one, perhaps, don't be afraid to drop a dime. Do the right thing. Call me if you like. I'm always available. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day here. Thank you again for being here. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Chairman Kelleher. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Rensselaer County Executive Stephen F. McLaughlin, who will bring greetings on behalf of Rensselaer County.
Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here and take part in this event. We had such a great time last night at the gala, and anybody that knows Roger knows that he loves to pepper his comments with, "Did you know?" Right? Did you know? And before we headed down from the cocktail party, I said, "Roger, how many did you knows do you have in the speech tonight?" He said, "Oh no, I don't have a speech tonight." 25 minutes later at the podium, after some great comments and a lot of did you knows that got thrown in there, he threw one in there that said, please bear with me for just a second. He said, "Did you know?" And then he had a statistic about how many tweets there are every second or every minute of the day. And he said, "Did you know?" He gave the number and he said, "And half of those are from Steve McLaughlin." So bear with me just a second here. I have a tweet to go out, which I just did, congratulating you, Roger, on your inauguration. It's a picture of all of you folks as well. So, and he did have one thing that was wrong. He said, and Roger's very rarely wrong, I've learned that, but he said that the president's half of them and I'm the other half. Well, did you know President Trump has 45,487 tweets, and I have a measly 23,000 and now 245. So about half of what the president has. So, but, you know, Roger and I and a team of us went down to Costa Rica. Some of you may have read about that trip. And so we went down there to try to build this college. And we were down there with Havadan and his team from UAlbany, and it was an amazing experience and a lot of hard work. But there's a mission there to try to grow the college. And Roger and I got to spend some time together, and it was impressive to be there because we had this entourage of people that were with us all the time, and about 7 SUVs going everywhere we went. But Roger and I had to speak it was a Saturday evening. See, we were working down there. It was not a vacation. It was a Saturday evening, and we had to go to speak. And Roger and I spent some time together alone in the car on the drive, about an hour. And we got to talk about all kinds of things. You know, the way I handle things at my office, the way he handles things here, what our visions are, things like that. And what I came away with, and one thing I always say to people, including my own kids, is the map becomes the territory. The map that you lay out becomes the territory for your life and the mission you're trying to achieve. And I came away from that knowing that Roger has laid out a map for this institution that will become the territory. So when Roger says this will be the greatest two-year institution in this country, he is correct. That is the map, that is the territory that he will follow and will lead everybody to that destination. And I think we're well on our way to that. This is a very, very special place, very special. And it impacts not only Rensselaer County, it impacts this whole region. And we are blessed enough to have it here in this county and to be the prime sponsor. I will say that we've upped our contribution this year to the college because we believe fully in the mission of this college. So we are very pleased to have updated our contribution to this county. And thanks to that, thank you. And certainly the thanks for that goes out to our legislature, our chairman Mike Stammel, and the rest of our legislators here for equally supporting the great mission of this county. Our trustee Neil Kelleher, who was a former legislator and chairman of our legislature, all of them work hard. We believe in what this institution does. We just, this past summer, a couple weeks ago, opened up the Gene Haas Manufacturing Center, an incredible new addition to the county, to the college and to the county, and going to train a whole lot of kids in some very special applications. But what's really important today, it's all about Dr. Ramsamy and this college, and we want to take a moment to congratulate him and his family from Trinidad, and here locally, we certainly welcome to the area. I'm sure it's a little bit colder than Trinidad, and you ain't seen nothing yet if you stick around about a month or two. So we invite everyone here to just tour this impressive campus, take a look around for those of you that aren't students or faculty here. Take a look around this very, very impressive campus. We are led now by one of the best and brightest in the country, and we are so fortunate to have him. I'm proud to call him a friend and really look forward to an increased, strong partnership between the county and Hudson Valley Community College. So to Dr. Ramsamy, thank you. Thank you for your vision, your leadership, your dedication, and your unending drive to make this college the best place it can be. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. McLaughlin. Next to the podium to bring greetings on behalf of the Rensselaer County Legislature, its Chair, Michael E. Stammel.
President Ramsamy, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, and fellow local officials, good morning. As a longtime member of the legislature and a present chairman, I have been witness to tremendous growth here at Hudson Valley Community College. As a legislature, we have partnered with the county executive, the Board of Trustees, to support much of the university's growth over the years. It is breathtaking to see how this once little college was and what it's become today. Every time I drive by it, it looks bigger, brighter, and that's a good thing for many, many reasons. The news this week that the University of Albany will now guarantee admission to graduates of Hudson Valley Community College was an important step forward and never thought to be done in years prior. This partnership will greatly increase the chances of our students obtaining a four-year degree without leaving the area. This is great news for the students, the families who came and remain here together in this area as they continue their education. It is important collaboration like this that reinforces the belief between President Roger Ramsamy will be a great leader here at Hudson Valley Community College. On behalf of my fellow county legislators here today, and others that I may not, many who are here today, I want to congratulate you on your inauguration and look forward to many exciting announcements during the next tenure. Thank you to Dr. Ramsamy, as well as the student body, as well as all the professors and here at Hudson Valley, and jump on for the ride because I know it's going to be a great experience in the near future for us all to be part of. Thank you again. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Stammel. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium the President of the Hudson Valley Community College Student Senate, Diane Sharon, who will bring greetings on behalf of the Hudson Valley Community College students.
Good morning, everyone. As already stated, I'm Zion Sharon, and I'm our student body president. I also am proud to be a community college representative on the Faculty Council of Community Colleges and the SUNY Student Assembly. In these leadership positions, I've been able to see the true importance of community colleges. They can, and they often do, launch students towards a brighter future while remaining inexpensive and accessible to all. Community colleges like Hudson Valley serve an incredibly important role in the SUNY system. This morning, I'd like to personally thank President Ramsamy for making students feel welcomed here on campus and for making their concerns heard. His dedication to increasing our college's diversity by traveling abroad to recruit new students and making all students feel welcomed, regardless of what life or walk they may come from, is truly uplifting. It is so important students feel welcomed at school so they can take full advantage of their experience. This is something I am passionate about and has affected me more than might meet the eye. I was a home-educated student before coming to Hudson Valley, and honestly, the prospect of coming to school at the age of 17 was a little bit more than intimidating. Luckily for me, I had an amazing economics professor, Professor Joseph Sinard, who encouraged me to get involved on campus. Started with a club, and from there I moved to the Student Senate. Throughout the process of joining these organizations, making friends, meeting my fellow students, I felt that I was accepted, but yet I got to learn about a lot of different other cultures and see other people's viewpoints, all the while feeling accepted and knowing that my interests, were, feeling that my interests were accepted as well, or exploring my interests, sorry about that. Hudson Valley Community College of Students is an incredibly diverse experience of cultures, and I've discovered it's one of its great strengths. As the college opens its doors even wider, we need to continue to consider the variety of perspectives and experiences that make each student unique. If we can do that, we can continue to be the amazingly accepting place that I found it to be. During the rest of my term here, I look forward to working with the great faculty and administration, especially Dr. Ramsamy. And congratulations, Dr. Ramsamy. On behalf of the over 10,000 students of Hudson Valley, we stand behind you. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Sharon. Today, I serve not only as your Mistress of Ceremonies, I have the distinct honor of also offering greetings on behalf of the faculty and staff of both the college and the Educational Opportunity Center. While I'm not the longest tenured employee of the college, I have the good fortune of being the longest tenured member of the college's senior administrative staff. Having joined the campus in 1983, I have had the pleasure of working directly with 5 of the 7 presidents who have served this college. From this distinct vantage point, I have noted that each president brings to the table a unique set of skills that serve to advance the college at each respective point in time. 7th president of Hudson Valley, Roger Ramsamy, brings to the table a vision of the future of this college that will catapult it into the decades that lie ahead. Behind this vision is an abundance of energy that drives those working with him to achieve great heights. Dr. Ramsamy is a man who sees the future and all that it can hold for this college, for its students, and for the community they both serve. And so, on behalf of the faculty and staff of Hudson Valley Community College and the Capital District Educational Opportunity Center, I welcome him to our community, and I look forward to working and seeing all that will be achieved under his leadership. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Leonard A. Slade, Jr., who will provide a reading from his personal works written by him in honor of Dr. Ramsamy.
Thank you. A reading of an original poem by Leonard A. Slade, Jr., President Roger Ramsamy, new chief at Hudson Valley Community College, Troy, New York. New York State will never be the same. The brilliant scientist who now leads with fire and fervor. He strategically plans for student growth, hires stellar faculty and superb administrators. This man with the plan to build Hudson Valley Community College until it reaches the heavens. He works in his office Monday through Sunday, perusing proposals for quality expansion, determined to stretch intellectual minds, committed to touch human hearts. His modus operandi to get the job done, made possible for his personal God, guiding him from sunrise to sunset. Serenade of ours near his home office, choir of birds caroling early in the morning. The sausage and eggs and biscuits and gravy served with percolated coffee prepare him for the demands of the day. He works and meets and decides on what will improve the college. His wife and daughter and God support him with friends watching his back for daggers and betrayals. We celebrate his achievements, share his dreams of the pursuit of academic excellence, the triumph of the human spirit, the survival of civilization. New York State will never be the same, said Alfred Tennyson's Ulysses. Come, my friends, it is not too late to seek a new world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Slade, for that beautiful reading. Now, performing a medley from the incredible musical theater production of Les Miserables, our talented high school ensemble group with Jake Goodman, Bridget Mack, Shada Ramsamy, and Toussaint Santacola Jones.
One day more, another day, another destiny. This never-ending road to Calvary. These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second time. One day more.
Dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living.
One day more. Tomorrow you'll be worlds away. And yet with you my world has started.
One more day on my own.
Will we ever meet again?
One more day with me not caring.
I was born to be with you.
What a life I might have known.
And I swear I will be true.
But he never saw me there.
One more day before the storm.
I follow where she goes.
At the barricades of freedom.
Shall I join my brothers
When
there?
our ranks begin to fall.
Do I stay or do I dare?
Take your place with me.
The time is now, the day is here. One day more.
One day to revolution. We will nip it in the bud. We'll be ready for these schoolboys. They will wet themselves.
One day more.
Catch 'em as they fall. Never know your luck when there's a free-for-all. Here a little dip, there a little touch. Most of them are gone, so they won't miss much.
One day to a new
The
beginning.
flag of freedom high.
Every man will be a king.
Every man will be a king.
There's a new world for the
There's a new
winning.
world to be won.
Do you hear the people sing?
My place is here. I fight with you.
One day more.
I will fight
I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that was amazing. Bravo. Thank you to our talented group of performers, and a special thank you to Shada Ramsamy for making her father's special day even more memorable. To add to the array of other memorable contributions to today's ceremony are two individuals who each have a special relationship with Dr. Ramsamy. First to the podium is Dr. Havadan Rodriguez, President of the University at Albany and a good friend and colleague of Dr. Ramsamy.
Thank you so very much. Good morning, everyone. Muy buenos dias, and it is a great day to be here. It is truly a great honor to be able to participate in this very significant ceremony and to celebrate the investiture of my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Roger Ramsamy. On behalf of the University at Albany, on behalf of Rosie, my spouse, and myself, congratulations to Hudson Valley Community College on this important day. Moreover, congratulations to President Ramsamy and his entire family. Felicidades. I am honored to be on this stage today, not only because President Ramsamy is an extraordinary colleague, not only because he is a visionary leader in higher education, not only because of the partnerships we are building and strengthening between Hudson Valley Community College and the University at Albany for the betterment of our students, our communities, the state, and beyond. Not only because of the great friendship forged between Annette and Rosie, and not only because he has become a true friend, but because Roger, Annette, Shay, and Shay have truly become part of our family. It has been a wonderful experience for Rosie and me to get to know Roger, Annette, and Shay. Whenever we are together, there is tremendous joy, lots of laughter, and a possibility that is both exciting and inspiring. However, in the middle of all this friendship, we are also very mindful about taking care of business. And as you already know, just this week, Rosie and I were delighted to welcome Roger and Annette to the University at Albany for a major celebration of a new transfer and pathway initiatives between Hudson Valley Community College and the University at Albany to ensure the success of our students. Together we announce this exciting, yes, please. Together we announce this exciting new partnership that are going to be transformative for both institutions. Students will be able to enter Hudson Valley Community College with the knowledge that upon meeting certain requirements, they can transfer and graduate with a baccalaureate degree from the University at Albany, and we will work together to ensure a smooth transfer experience between our institutions. This was possible because of our long-standing partnership with HVCC and a mutual desire of Roger and I to share to deepen the engagement between our schools. Roger and I have also shared some adventures, both locally and globally. You also heard that last spring we visited Costa Rica, where we explored some very high potential opportunities to create academic pathways for both HVCC and UAlbany. Here at home, we work closely on the creation of the New York Capital Region Higher Education Council, which is the consortium of presidents of 24 colleges and universities across the region. Also, in a few weeks, UAlbany will have a major conference, RISE 2019, where close to 90 universities and institutions of higher education and close to 400 individuals from across the country will descend on UAlbany to focus on the growing threats posed by extreme weather. I'm also happy to announce that Hudson Valley Community College is a strong partner and sponsor of this event. I know that there are many more to come, many more ventures to come, both personal and professional. I am looking forward to working closely with Roger and Hudson Valley Community College in the weeks, the months, and the years ahead to make a transformational difference for the Capital Region and beyond. Meanwhile, Roger, for the great friendship between our families, for all that you have done for Hudson Valley Community College and this community, for the great partnerships between our institutions, and for all that you will continue to do in the future, and more importantly, for our friendship. From the bottom of my heart, de lo más profundo de mi corazón, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much. Once again, felicidades. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. It is now my great pleasure to welcome to the podium a gentleman who has served as a friend and a mentor to Roger Ramsamy, beginning with the time they spent together at Palm Beach State College in Florida. I introduce you to Dr. Patrick Haney, Dean Emeritus of Palm Beach State College.
Thank you, Dr. Marion. Members of the Ramsamy family, esteemed members of the Board of Trustees, public officials, SUNY and HVCC administrators, faculty, and staff. Good morning. What an honor and a privilege it is to be here today. And please know that I am truly humbled to have been invited to take part in this inauguration of your 7th president. What a tremendously impressive college community this HVCC. This was brought to light during a visit of your beautiful campus and meeting several members of your college family, namely Tammy and Karen in the dental programs, Jonathan, Steve, and in particular, Navy Captain Selectee Patricia Klimkowitz. My apologies to those others whom we met but whose names escape me. Probably a symptom of having been around the block too many times. And of course, a special thanks to Regina Legata for her warm and generous hospitality, which made Kathy and me feel so welcome. As Dr. Ramsamy mentioned last night, the quality of any institution is due in large part to its people. It's obvious that a wonderful marriage exists between your new president and the people who make up this college. I'm beholden to Roger for all the recognition he has given me as his first boss during his climb up the ladder of success. I would certainly like to think I made some contribution to this success. Believe me when I tell you, the credit is all his. Now, after witnessing Dr. Ramsamy at last night's festivities, it has become apparent that if we could just get him to come out of his shell, the sky would certainly be the limit. Now, a little bit about those secrets he was thankful no one was willing to reveal. I've had the delight in knowing Dr. Ramsamy for close to 25 years, and I must tell you what a pleasure those years have been. And this is certainly the crowning achievement to all those years, and I'm grateful to be here with you today. Before you knew Dr. Ramsamy as President Ramsamy, I knew him as Roger Ramsamy, fresh from Georgetown University and a newly arrived faculty member in the science department at Palm Beach Community College in Lake Worth, Florida. But my story today is not about his many significant scholastic and academic accomplishments, all of which are well known either through his resume, online, or right in your HVCC catalog. Rather, I want to talk briefly about Roger Ramsamy, the man. My job at the time of our meeting was that of a mid-level administrator overseeing all of the healthcare programs at the college. It was a given that Dr. Ramsamy, as a biological science educator, and I would be working closely together for the foreseeable future. After all, many of the programs I oversaw were limited access programs that had some daunting prerequisites that included microbiology and anatomy and physiology, which of course were among Dr. Ramsamy's many fields of expertise. But prior to his arrival at PBCC, Dr. Ramsamy had been offered a momentous opportunity to become the first minority to teach at Mayo Clinic, which he rather astonishingly turned down to come to PBCC. When I asked him why he declined this significant honor and instead came to our college, his answer was simple. He felt that underserved students, of which there were many at PBCC, and who came from Haiti, Cuba, and elsewhere in the Caribbean, as well as South Florida, and which for many meant that English was a second language, would benefit more from his efforts than the high achievers at Mayo Clinic. Then in 1995, Florida Atlantic University, just down the road from our community college, tried desperately to poach Dr. Ramsamy's services. But for the same reasons that brought him to PBCC initially, he declined their offer and chose to stay where he felt he could do the most good, teaching at a community college. So what did he do to accomplish this vision and justify his decision? He set about creating a learning environment that would be as conducive as possible, grasping difficult subject matter such as A&P and microbiology. Success in these difficult subjects was important in identifying those students who would be selected for a place in one of the healthcare programs of their choosing. And it was Dr. Ramsamy who was instrumental in offering them an exceptional opportunity to achieve that goal. While not entirely abandoning the usual tried and true teaching methods, he began to think outside the box, developing his own innovative and forward-thinking approaches, such as presenting subject matter in animated formats that were easier for these students to understand and relate to. But his value to these students and to the college didn't really end there. As already mentioned, many, if not most of the healthcare programs aspired to by students were so-called limited access programs, which by definition meant competitive access. Dr. Ramsamy's innovations not only meant his students learned more easily, but by extension became competitive for acceptance to a healthcare program. This meant, of course, that his classes were highly sought after and filled quickly. All of the classes, such as micro and A&P, eventually filled, of course. At that point, those students who could no longer enroll in these necessary classes came to me, imploring me to find them a now non-existent spot in a class which they needed to proceed with their career aspirations. Who came to the rescue? Who else but my friend, Dr. Roger Ramsamy. He would invariably agree to take students in excess of the class size limit, completely without need for coercion, bribery, or even begging. He always exceeded expectations for services to the student, not to please me, not to please the college, but simply because, as already indicated, he was a man for the student, and the student's needs came first. Dr. Ramsamy is one of those rare individuals you meet perhaps only once or twice in a lifetime. A man of quiet confidence and determination, he is not afraid to challenge himself with a problem and seems to succeed at everything he attempts. For example, he became involved in sports at an early age and became a world-class field hockey player that toured internationally with the Caribbean team. In addition, he engaged in the sport of cricket and soccer at a world-class level, even though it did not extend to international competition. I did notice some golf clubs in the car when he picked us up at the airport. But having played golf with Dr. Ramsamy, I suspect that golf may be the one sport that he has not quite yet reached world-class level. At least he's not alone in that regard. Dr. Ramsamy also had another major goal, an education in the United States. But as visas from Trinidad were apparently extremely difficult to obtain, he utilized the soon-to-expire United States visa that he carried as a field hockey team member to regain admission to the United States. He then managed to work his way through the educational process in Washington, D.C., and obtained a student visa in spite of severely lacking the economic and logistical advantages offered to most of his fellow students. His labors under extremely adverse conditions are well documented, so I won't dwell on that part of the story. But they do clearly exemplify his determination and resolve to achieving his goals. When times became tough financially early in his tenure at PBCC, Dr. Ramsamy worked as many as 3 jobs and taught up to 16 classes per week in order to make ends meet. Again, determination and dedication to his family and to his goals. What you may not have known was that there was a time in his evolution toward personal and academic success that he might have been distracted from his educational pursuits. And had it not been for one of our senior administrators at PBCC, we may never have had the benefit of Dr. Ramsamy's participation today. It's true. At the tender age of 14, the president started singing in a calypso band in Trinidad. And he continued that avocation while still a faculty member at PBCC. One day, John Schmiederer, one of our vice presidents, learned of Roger's activities and gently suggested that his appeal to impressionable young students of so handsome a band member, especially to those of the female persuasion, might be incompatible with the appeal expected of a college faculty member. And I put that as diplomatically as I could, by the way. So the singing stopped, and had it not been for the sage advice offered by Vice President Schmiederer, your newly inaugurated president instead could very well have been the next Bob Marley. So it appears HVCC's gain was calypso music's loss. Now that this fact has become public knowledge, when Dr. Ramsamy responds in a few minutes, he might even be encouraged to sing us a few lines. I guess we'll see. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't extol upon the outstanding leadership qualities of Roger Ramsamy, which stand as another example of a challenge recognized and a challenge met. When I once asked him what he remembered most about our relationship at PBCC, he stated that among my many shortcomings, one attribute he did manage to observe, and the one he felt he would strive for, was to be a good listener. This ability is only one of the many leadership qualities that this man now possesses. We already know about his intelligence from his many academic accomplishments. I have already given you examples of his compassion, creativity, and determination. These all contribute to the elements necessary for an outstanding leader. And this man, Dr. Roger Ramsamy, this man of many talents, is one of those leaders. Maggie, I must say, you raised a good boy. With that, I submit to you Dr. Roger Ramsamy, President of Hudson Valley Community College, no longer the diamond in the rough that came to PBCC 25 years ago, but rather a brilliant, polished gem that this college will have the good fortune to have as its standard bearer for many years to come. Congratulations, Roger Ramsamy, for your achievement in becoming the future of this fine institution. And likewise, congratulations to Hudson Valley Community College for its wisdom in acquiring this fine gentleman as its next president. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Haney. We know very much how much your presence means to our president. We thank you for joining us, for sharing your insights with us. Now we've arrived at the focal point of today's ceremony, the investiture of Dr. Roger A. Ramsamy as the 7th president of Hudson Valley Community College. To begin this part of the program, I would like to introduce Johanna Duncan Poitier, Senior Vice Chancellor for Community Colleges and the Education Pipeline.
Good morning, everyone. Bob Marley. I am so thrilled to be here with all of you this morning to celebrate the inauguration of your new wonderful president, Dr. Roger Ramsamy. I'm proud to be here representing our chairman of our board, Dr. Merrill Tisch, and of course our chancellor, Christina Johnson. What a wonderful day this is. So happy to be here. Some other members of the SUNY family are also happy to be here today, and in line with what was said before, we do have your back. If the SUNY family that is here to support Roger every step of the way, would you please stand? Folks have traveled here from the tip of Long Island to the Canadian border to be here with you, but to be with you every step of the way. We also have a special thanks to Roger's family. In the beginning, I was thinking about acknowledging you by name, but then there were too many. So I would just like to ask if Roger's mom and his beautiful wife and his family would please stand so we can all say a special thank you to you. Some folks were shy. They'll be in training from Roger. They didn't stand. I know most of you know how much I love community colleges. Clearly, that's something that Roger and I have in common. I love community colleges because they change lives. And so many of you are a part of that change. And in fact, no one has to tell you how special Hudson Valley Community College is. Hudson Valley Community College is nationally recognized as a leader in student success. In addition to the academic and workforce achievements of excellence that are recognized around the globe, the richness of the experience at Hudson Valley Community College is really important. I was fascinated to learn that about 80% of the students are from the Capital Region, but the remainder are from other states as well as some 30 countries around the globe, making it possible for students to have a rich global experience right here on this campus. Finding the right leader for the next chapter of Hudson Valley Community College's future was absolutely critical. Very fortunate that in my role as Senior Vice Chancellor, I have the opportunity to take an active role in the presidential search process. I would like to commend Hudson Valley Community College's board chair, Neil Kelleher, for his leading of the 24-member presidential search committee, which included dedicated faculty, staff, students, alumni, trustees, foundation board members, and community leaders. Everyone was taking a very careful look at what was important in the next president for Hudson Valley Community College. They took their responsibility very seriously. They worked very hard with the process and found their best candidate, which was Dr. Roger Ramsamy. You were a member of that search committee that worked many, many hours. I would ask, including our trustees, if you would stand and be recognized. Thank you for that, and thank you for the hard work. Now, it's interesting, you know, when you're the last speaker, sometimes people will say things that you plan to say, so you cut them out. In this case, what I found was reinforcement for the many things that I've learned about Roger. And one is clearly persistence. As a candidate, we all knew that Roger believed that he was the best person to be the next president for Hudson Valley Community College. We saw his excitement, which everyone knows is palatable. You get around Roger and he's excited and he's got an idea, you know it. I also know that many of you are familiar with the fact that he came to us from Florida. That was his last stop, as his colleague mentioned. What you might not know is that during the interview process, there was a hurricane in Florida. He came to us the night before. Eye of the storm was heading towards his hometown. I said to him, every which way to Tuesday, Roger, it's okay. We understand. You need to get back. There's a hurricane in Florida, and we're all looking at the teleprompters and the TV screens and saying, I wonder how bad the storms are going to be here in Albany. But Roger was, no, this is fine. I am ready. I am ready for this interview. Well, I have to tell you, he was the epitome of grace under pressure. He aced the interview. Some of our colleagues said, you know what? If he can do an interview through a hurricane, he's ready for SUNY. One of Roger's best qualities is his commitment and his passion for access to higher education, rooted in the profound impact of his own upbringing and a desire to pay it forward, as was said so many ways. While working in a prestigious postdoc at Georgetown University, Roger realized his calling was really teaching more than research, and he started to pay it all forward as soon as he had the opportunity to do so. An inspiring professor with a passion and a knack for reaching underserved students with innovative teaching methods. He was awarded a half-dozen Professor of the Year awards. Roger understands the power of educational opportunity. And his gift to us is that he wants every student to have that opportunity. He's a man, and this is my personal perspective on him, Roger is a man with a strong moral conviction. He's smart, he's focused, he's warm, and he's really a great guy that I am proud to call a colleague and a friend. He's a creative thinker, he's a visionary leader. In fact, I asked a few folks on campus, what would you say is the most profound thing about Roger? And I heard again and again, and the last comment was his vision, his vision, his vision. He can see what Hudson Valley Community College should be and can be, and is going to get us all there. He's passionate about student success, and he's working very hard, as was mentioned, with his colleagues around the state. This is not the first milestone I have celebrated with Roger here at Hudson Valley. I was fortunate, as many of you here, to participate in the grand opening of the new Haas Center for Advanced Manufacturing Skills. Many of you may remember, as there were officials, elected officials, donors, manufacturing and economic development leaders. It was a wonderful ceremony to elevate what's happening here and to share the relevance beyond traditional borders. What I learned, and I heard someone else make reference to it, so it's clearly going to be a Roger thing. This did you know? So recently at this event, Roger mentioned a couple of things that he referred to as fun facts. How many of you saw my big fat Greek wedding? How many of you saw it? Yeah, me too. You all remember, right? There was this patriarch, and he was fiercely proud of his heritage, and he would say, give me any word, Give me any word, and I will tell you its Greek root. Any word. It's from Greek. Whenever Roger gets a chance, he's the same way about Hudson Valley Community College. Doesn't matter what we're talking about. He ties it back to a fun fact about Hudson Valley Community College, where he has placed his roots. Roger is going to be, in the years to come, everything you've already seen. A wonderful president who is committed to his students, committed to this college, and committed to education for all. I am very, very proud to go to the next step of the ceremony, which for me is the pièce de résistance, and I'm going to ask Chairman Kelleher and President Roger Ramsamy to join me at the podium. Are you ready? Sure?
I am.
No hurricanes today.
No hurricanes. Not going to sing, is he?
Yeah, no singing.
No singing.
Or maybe. Dr. Ramsamy, you have the most important privilege and responsibility of leading Hudson Valley Community College, established in 1953, to the fulfillment of its great promise as an institution of higher learning and an integral partner in the region. As Chief Executive Officer, you are assigned all the powers, duties, and responsibilities appropriate to the post. We are confident that under your leadership, this institution, pursuing the highest traditions of teaching, scholarship, and public service, will continue its dedication to this region, to the state, the nation, and the world. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York, I hereby present you, friends of the college, the 7th president of Hudson Valley Community College, Dr. Ramsamy.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. What an honor. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Members of the Platform Party, partners in government, business and education leaders, trustees, alumni, and friends. Hudson Valley's faculty, staff, students, your presence here today is overwhelming. Thank you so very much again. Please allow me to begin this incredible event with a very special greeting, the architect of my life, my mom. She has traveled all the way from Trinidad to be here. My mom has always said to us, it does not matter how long you live. What matters most is how you live. The best of what I've become is most clearly a reflection of you. And I know what you're saying right now. Boy, you better speed up because my bladder ain't gonna hurt. Mom, this speech, I promise, is not gonna be more than 15 minutes or 16. To my team, first, my wife, Annette, who is my biggest champion and my MVP. I share this special moment as I do all things with you. My son Khalid is not able to be with us. He works for Amazon. They took him away, and that's fine. He's doing well, but he's my quarterback, always taking the lead. He does that for the family. My daughter Josie, you I consider the team psychologist, always listening and bringing us back to reality. Thank you. And my youngest, Sheshe, who you saw performed earlier. Yeah. Thank you to you and your team. You are my running back. You're always picking up the ball and going for the win. You keep running, baby. And to my extended family and friends always, Ricky, Nikki, Aunt Shirls, the babies, and to all my friends who are here today, Please know that it's impossible for us to remember you all, but do know that I appreciate your presence here today. I also extend my sincere appreciation to the Hudson Valley many devoted elected officials. I saw many elected officials come in today. Specifically, I did not see Congressman Tonko, but if he's here, I know he's a very hardworking guy. State Senator Daphne Jordan is here. Assemblywoman Carrie Warner is here. Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. Deputy Albany County Executive Phil Calderon. Rensselaer County legislators who are with us, like Dan Cassell, Tom Grant, Kelly Hoffman, Robert Laverge, and Chuck Peter. The Mayor of Saratoga Springs, Kelly, Mayor of Patrick County, of Troy, Patrick Madden, and the Mayor of Schenectady I saw earlier on, Gary McCarthy. Thank you so much. And a special thanks to the Rensselaer County leaders, Steve and Mike. Thank you so very much for your support. So the Chancellor is not able to be with us tonight, but I do say to you, I am very, very thankful for her support always. But we do have with us our SUNY Senior Vice Chancellor, Johanna Duncan Poitier. Thank you so very much for everything that you have done for me and for HVCC. We very much appreciate it. You're a dynamic leader and truly a wonderful person. Your heart is good as gold. To Chairman Neil Kelleher, who have come to know as a very selfless leader. Sir, you have my sincere thanks and appreciation for the support that you have given us. And to our Board of Trustees, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. So, this is the moment where I take an opportunity to say thank you to this guy who just told me a whole lot of things, President Javidan Rodriguez, who has he's become one of my great friends for the Capital Regions. It's 15 months ago that he's been with us. I want to thank him for his friendship and for all that he has done for us. Thank you so much. Dr. Patrick Haney, I truly believe in the term leader. The term leader was created because of you. Sir, you have my deepest appreciation and counsel forever. And to Pastor Traham and Professor Len Slade, thank you so much for being such a special part of today's event and for your beautiful words. To the college and university delegates in attendance today, especially my dear friend indeed, Dr. Jonathan Guevara, who's somewhere here, who came all the way from College of Florida Keys. If you're still here, where are you, sir? Right here up front. I offer you my sincere, heartfelt thanks. I do have Dr. Michael Baston and many others who are here with us. I thank you all for making this incredible journey. Thank you so very much. Now, I had to say those thank yous, and you will forgive me for that. But we do have the incredible Hudson Valley Community College deans, department chairs, faculty, staff, and leadership team, and without doubt, you are the center of what. There is no way to quantify what you have done for this college, the many lives that you have touched through the years. Your impact is evident everywhere you look, in the eyes of our students, in the achievements of our alumni, in the betterment of our communities, in the growth of our partners, and in the advancement and progress we are creating together. Thank you. The effect you have on others is the greatest gift you can give. Your accomplishments are nothing short of amazing, and you have my greatest admiration and respect for all that you do. I want to also briefly recognize a few of my former colleagues. Special mentors who mean the world to me. I refer to them as my angels. These are the folks who helped me to spread my wings and learn to fly. In my time growing up, Drs. Joan William Thomas, Winston Anderson, Dennis Gallen, Maria Vallejo, and George Gabriel, these are the folks who took me and walked me through my timeline. They have my special thanks for this today especially. And last but not least, I want to thank the many ambitious, intelligent, and diverse students of Hudson Valley Community College. For my team that's wearing, I do have on my athletic jersey underneath here, so we are going out to play some soccer right after. Students like State President, our Zion Herring, and our trustee Saloma Ayub, whose talents will one day transform this world like you would never know. Thank you both for being here. You may not know this, but it's students who have my greatest motivation and inspiration. And actually, they're the great source of pride. You see, my work and my purpose at Hudson Valley, my commitment for our students is profoundly, family is smiling and I have to pay attention to what they're smiling at. It's deeply, deeply rooted in my personal experience. For me, a poor boy from a small town in the mountainside of Trinidad with big dreams to go to college, it was indeed higher education that was my lifeline to opportunity. In fact, it was at college that I found my place here in America. Here in the classroom and in the science lab, in the library, in the liberal arts rooms, in my professors' offices, I began to wonder, where could I go? But it was the help of teachers like yourself, the kindness of college employees, that I began to see where I belong. Do you see what incredible powers we have? Do you see what we hold for ourselves? So I stand here today, humbled by the task before us and grateful for the trust that you have placed in me to lead this magnificent institution into the future. I proudly follow in the footsteps of the Hudson Valley presidents who made great strides to push the boundaries to advance this college in their own respective eras. I salute their leadership, recognizing that each of them were challenged by the tide of change that swept through the 20th century. And each met those challenges in remarkable and enduring ways. Take, for example, in 1953, Arthur Gunther helped build this college from its roots as a veterans vocational institute in downtown Troy. Then it mostly served student population that lived through World War II. But know this, he must have had foresight to see changes on the horizon. The growing need not only for vocational training, but also business and liberal arts programs, as well as the need for a larger, more sophisticated campus. Taking over in the 1960s, James Fitzgibbons, he faced a tidal wave of baby boomers as he led the college growth and student services to meet the needs of our community. Then came President Joseph Boehmer. He saw the rise of the technological changes in the 80s and 90s that invented whole new modalities of teaching and learning. And he led Hudson Valley through a period of innovation, transformation of our campus, and the expansion of academic programs. Then came President Curtis, Stephen Curtis. He came at the time of the internet age, when it firmly took root, creating the new information age. When President John Buno was inaugurated, the web and email was emerging, and the new millennium was here. And at the forefront of something called distance learning was a college in upstate New York. Yes, you know it. It's Hudson Valley. Then came interim president Marco Silvestri. He built important bridges to the college. Then came our president, the sixth one, to Drew Matnock. You remember him, don't you? He guided us as the internet became an essential part of our lives. and communication began to explode. How do you educate? President Mathnock might have thought at the time. When cell phones, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and text messaging was the information sources for our students. So now we are faced with that continuing technological and pedagogical challenge. You see, the generation born today and the one we must prepare for to teach in the future, they will know virtual reality and robotics. They will be guided by artificial intelligence in the same way their great-grandparents knew television, and their grandparents knew cell phones, and their parents would have known self-driving cars and paper currency. The education issue we need to solve is one of communication, a future, understanding how to focus for it, staying relevant in a time when we have to see advanced automation come to us, and preparing for an even more rapid technological change that's before us. And I'm going to wonder if there will be an app for that. You see, we must think that we have to be future forward. Remember it. We always have to be future forward. As the college's seventh president, my challenge is much like my predecessors that I spoke about. I have to anticipate the mindset of the millennials, Gen Z, the emerging generation Alpha that some of you heard me talk about, while setting the stage for the next president who has to come, who will face a whole new generation, one living in the age of robotics. We call it Generation AR, born 2025 through 2035. That's why I ask all of you at our first all-campus meeting to be all in. All in on our plan to embrace what we need to succeed. Let us remove the fear that prevents us from making these changes, and we must take risks to make our future better. According to Michelangelo, the greater danger for most of us it lies mostly in setting our aim too high and falling short. But in setting our aim too low and achieving it, we always have to be big thinkers. To me, an inauguration is an opportunity to present a vision that can decode the current challenges, anticipate future needs, and unite the campus with a strategic vision. That is what I hope to bring to my presidency. As I arrived here at the college last year, I observed an unparalleled commitment to our students, an unwavering support for our workforce and education partners, contributions to the greater region. Each of these characteristics animates our campus, and it creates a sense of enrichment and vitality within our community that no other institution could claim. None. With the task of determining how Hudson Valley would succeed and where we could do better, most of you know this. I met with over 300 members of the community during my first 6 months, and hundreds more later. And this is what I learned. I learned that we had an incredible team of talented and caring and dedicated individuals, along with an extensive network of partners who really, really support us, and many of you saw that last night. But I also learned that we are still faced with many challenges. Yes, we do. Demographic challenges, challenges in keeping pace with the demands of our workforce, and challenges that are reshaping the role of education in this 21st century. In the last year, we have begun to address those changes, and we have opened up our doors wider than ever before, began to ask bold questions, explore new ideas, and adopt new philosophies. Our faculty and staff began the process by building a future-focused strategic plan. Together, we have established core values for what we believe and how we lead this institution. And we outline these shared priorities and goals as critically important, such as the renewal of our collective commitment to student success, inclusion, and equity, enhancing academic programming, seeking new ways to optimize enrollments, encouraging continued excellence among all our faculty and staff, expanding on our partnerships, and reinvigorating our campus culture and infrastructure. With history as our guide, the excellence of a collective brain power, and the roadmap of our future, we can achieve anything. We will continue to provide unprecedented opportunities and access to the highest quality teaching and workforce training. We will continue to work with our many public, private colleges and university partners, as well as our business, non-for-profit, faith-based, and government leaders to expand our reach and amplify our impact. We will work hand in hand with our elementary, middle, and high school partners also, because their growth will feed our education pipeline, prime the pump, and bolster our collective potential in infinite ways. By adding in chambers, IDAs, CEGs, United Way, and the Regional Economic Development Council, we will build a region-wide coalition to catalyze growth like never before. My request is this. It's simple. Let us work together to reach our goals rather than limiting ourselves by selfish attempts to reach them alone. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I pledge to you that here at Hudson Valley, we will go far together, implementing strategies that ensure we are making lasting impact on our campus and the many individuals and communities that we serve. And I promise that we are also dedicated to remaining adaptable and responsive to what's ahead in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years and beyond by preparing our students to be responsible citizens within the global community. And I am depending on you. I'm counting on you, every one of you, to help me make this plan happen. I'm all in, and I hope that you are too, because our mission is clear, our focus is sharp, and make no mistakes, there are challenges we must face. But I can tell you that we are ready. Let us consider for a moment what a Hudson Valley student who may be born this year would look for when they come to us in 2037. That's correct. Today's toddlers will be college students in 2037. To remain relevant, we must start planning now for those students who will arrive on our campus 18 years later. We must embrace the fact that technology will continue to impact our lives and the way that we deliver education. We must recognize that demographic shifts and economic changes will continue to define our landscape. And we must adapt to the changing generation of students who will invariably reshape our workforce. I know it is difficult to comprehend what our college would look like in 20 years. I know. But imagine this. President Gunther likely never envisioned the personal computer, but it came to be pervasive, didn't it? And perhaps President Boma did not foresee social media, but it is how we communicate today, isn't it? Change is indeed inevitable. And while we cannot predict the future, we can plan for change and anticipate best how to harness technology and the emerging ideas in education. What I will encourage during my presidency is a willingness to embrace what the future will bring for our college, for the future students of Hudson Valley Community College, for the future prosperity of the region, the state, and beyond. I could ask for nothing less. My favorite quote, some of you who came to my door saw on my office door, it has been there for decades. It says, "When patterns are broken, new worlds emerge. Let us embrace them together. Let's provide higher education access to those who never thought it was within reach. And let's find new audiences to educate and new ways to teach them." Right now, those students are ready to start dreaming what their futures would look like, and they probably are doing it. And they're going to need our education to get there, because it does not matter where we are in space and time. If we are forward-thinking, there will always be people who need what we are doing here at Hudson Valley Community College. Like I did years ago, and like every single one of you have done, each of these students will face the most daunting but essential question: where do I belong? If anyone can guide them, I know you can. If anyone can inspire them, I know you can. If anyone can help them find their place in this world, I know you can. This isn't a dream. This is real power, real work. Every day, people in this world are fighting to make change. That means something that helps people, that alters the course of their lives. They're fighting to be true to themselves, to their passion and their talent. You're not doing this because you have to. You aren't doing it because you're supposed to. You're doing it because it chose you. And it is It is my greatest honor and privilege to work alongside you and bring this great institution to its great heights than ever before. One final thing. Denzel Washington said, before you go to bed at night, take your slippers, put it far under the bed, so that the next morning you have to get on your knees to reach for them. But before you reach, put your hands together and thank the Lord for this day, that you could make a difference. Because know this, it does not matter what you have, the material things, they do not go with you. So reach behind, pull someone forward, because I know we can. Thank you.
Good job, my friend. Thank you.
Powerful.
Awesome.
Thank you, President Ramsamy, for your inspiring words, your stimulating presentation, and most of all, for the vision you have for Hudson Valley Community College. I know the future is in good hands with you. We welcome you as our president, and we look forward to working with you as this vision becomes a reality. Please stand for the benediction, which will be offered, you're already standing, which will be offered by Michelle Seberge, campus chaplain.
Thank you. Just to conclude, I'd like to say, as many people have echoed, it is an honor and a privilege, President Ramsamy, to be a part of your special day. Congratulations to your family and to you. And so we pray. We praise you, Spirit who gives birth to all things new. New revelations, new opportunities, new life, and new leadership. Our hearts are filled with gratitude as we come together to take part in your continual creation. May the creative energy that comes from our connection with you and one another inspire our work here at Hudson Valley Community College, both now and in the future. Divine wisdom. On this day in particular, we give thanks to Dr. Roger Ramsamy, who you have brought here to serve with energy, intelligence, imagination, and love. May we remember that each of us, staff, students, and faculty, have been called and uniquely gifted to serve alongside Roger, guided by his leadership. Together, may we support and strengthen Hudson Valley Community College. To quote the poem, "What I Learned So Far" by Mary Oliver, can one be passionate about the just, the ideal, the sublime, and the holy, and yet commit to no labor in its cause? I don't think so. All summations have a beginning. All effect has a story. All kindness begins with a sown seed. Thought buds towards radiance. The gospel of light is the crossroads of indolence or action. Be ignited or be gone. Mobilize a spirit of wisdom and power to share our riches with the world, to cultivate our talents, and to find endless ways to use them in service to humanity. Continue to bless us, our college, and Dr. Ramsamy as we do this work. And so it is. Amen.
Please be seated. Once again, thank you for being a part of this milestone occasion, Hudson Valley Community College, and for helping us to celebrate the beginning of a new chapter in the history of this institution. Please remain seated throughout the recessional of both the platform party and the delegates, as well as the Ramsamy family. After the recessional is finished, all of our guests are invited to a luncheon reception in the Conway Ice Rink, which you can enter down the hallway to your right as you exit this area. Also, please be sure to pick up the inaugural memento, which will be handed out at the exit as you leave the ceremonial area. I call on our Grand Marshal and Mace Bearer, Joseph Schneider, to step forward to officially end our ceremony and lead us in recessional. Will all those in the academic recessional party please rise?
This convocation is now concluded.
Thank you.